Hi guys. So I hope you can see me and hear me clearly. Yeah. Okay, great. So let's begin today's session. Keep your back and neck straight. Sit comfortably and very gently close your eyes. And bring your mind to your natural breathing. Just observe your breathing as you are inhaling and exhaling. Slowly shift your attention to your posture. Just make sure your back and neck remains straight. Face, neck and shoulders are relaxed. You are comfortable and stable in your posture. And slowly begin to deepen the breathing. Go for slow, long, and deep inhalations. Slow, long, and deep exhalations. After your next inhalation, hold your breath for about 2 seconds and then go into the process of exhalation. We'll be chanting Om 3 times, followed by 3 Shantis. Exhale fully and inhale deeply for Om. 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Just observe the vibrations. Join your palms together and rub your palms together. Place your palms on your eyes. Very slowly while blinking and looking at your palms, begin to open up your eyes, start coming back with a smile. Namaste to everyone. Let us begin today's session. So today we are starting a new topic, mudras, right? So M-U-D-R-A-S. Right? And whenever we talk of all of our practices, so mudras are always, mentioned, and these are performed like when you do your asanas also, during pranayama also, they are given a lot of relevance, and they are a separate school in themselves. Okay, so even though hatha yogic practices, you will see they are generally performed in combination with the hatha yogic practices, the school of mudras is separate actually, right? And even when it is used for therapeutic purposes, mudras are, you can only perform mudras to cure things. So they are a completely different school, you know. They are very holistic in nature as a school, right? So a lot of deep study is required when you go into the practice of mudras, right? So mudras, guys, before I begin this session, I want to say this thing: mudras are very advanced level practices. Okay, even though you might feel that you are able to perform them, right? They are very, very advanced level practices, and if one is not established in asanas and pranayamas, so if you want to separately go for this practice, the practice of mudras, then you have to first establish yourself in asanas and pranayamas. It's only then that you become ready for the actual practice of mudras, right? Even though they are done in combination with other practices also, but if you want to separately understand them, then you need the stability of the body and the stability of your breathing. Both the things are required, right? So this term mudra, it's made out of, if you split it, so mud, M-U-D, this portion, this means delight or pleasure. Okay. And the second is Dru, D-R-U, which means to derive. Okay. So one meaning of the term mudra is to derive, when you are performing this thing, to derive delight or pleasure, right? And mudras are of various types. We will discuss the types tomorrow. But when mudras are performed, basically this meaning takes you to what is the result of the practice, right? Mudras are also other translations of mudras are gestures. They are seals, circuits. So these are different terms that you will see when you start to understand mudras, right? And this is exactly what mudras do. They act as seals, right? So I'll explain this in detail in a little bit. So traditionally speaking, in a lot of traditions, there are ways in which we perform different gestures, right? So when you guys pray, like when you guys pray, so you join your hands together, no? Like this. So this is also one of the mudras. Basically, these gestures were like, if we go back to the Indian tradition, in Indian tradition also, if you see, so different mudras were done in dance forms, and dance forms were actually done to um, as a, they were offered to the gods, you know, as an offering to the gods. The devotees used to dance, right? And then they used to perform different gestures while they dance. So with the hands, with the eyes, you know, different gestures are performed, and it was an offering to the god. So similarly, when we pray, you know, when we pray, we join the hands together. So this is also one of the mudras, you know, where as a service or a sense of devotion is shown through this when you join the hands together. So when you look at various traditional Indian dances, especially because I have more knowledge of them, right? So traditionally, you know, a lot of ways in which they join the hands, they, you know, the kind of expressions and the eyes, the way in which the eyes also move in order to support an expression, they are actually mudras. Mudras are being performed, right? So mudras, what they do is basically they form circuits of energy, right? So our entire body, you know, I told you in the beginning of pranayam classes also that we have this part of the body which is energetic. So the pranmaya kosha, vital body, right? So the vital body has different energy channels called nadis, right? So constantly the energy is escaping from your body, right? A very common example of this is like when you look at something, no? When you look very intensely at something, at after a point of time, your eyes get tired, no? Like Kratak practice if you have done, or even if you haven't done that, right? If you intensely gaze at something, at some point or the other, your eyes get tired. Why is this happening? Because a lot of energy is escaping through the eyes to connect with the sense object, right? So what mudras do is, rather than allowing this energy to escape, they put a seal or a lock so that a circuit is completed and the energy flows back. Okay. So all of us have limited energy, right? When we rest, when we eat, there is some amount of energy that is present, right? And when we do various activities, we lose this energy, right? So what the yogis did was they discovered that there were various ways of locking this energy, not allowing this energy to escape. That is why you will see, you know, yogis, they survive for days at end without food. Why is this happening? Because the kind of food we need and the kind of activities we do, the energy, we need that kind of food to support the activities we are doing, and consistently we are not aware energy is escaping all the time. But yogis, what they did was they conserved this energy, right? So same amount of food now, because they have created a barrier, right? So same the energy which would have escaped, that is remaining in the body. So for a long period of time, that same energy stays in the body, right? That is why they are not too worried about food also, when they will get food or how they will get food, because they discovered ways in which they could survive, right? Or if they have, say, 1 liter of water, right? So they understood that how this 1 liter of water, how they can utilize it better, right? So it's like an upgraded version of a phone, right? Where the battery remains in the phone for a long period of time, or maybe putting on a battery saver, putting a phone on battery saver, right? That is what you are doing when you perform the mudras, right? So now, one of the most famous forms of mudras are actually your the ones that you do with the hands, right? So most people only know the hand mudras, right? Uh, but there are other forms also. Tomorrow we will discuss, but today I'm going to tell you about one or two mudras, and we are going to give them some time, right, to perform them for a while, right, to see the mudras. You cannot see the impact of mudras if you don't do them for minimum 5 to 10 minutes. Minimum, I'm telling you. So if you're placing your hand like this and not doing anything else along with it, so if you like sit and you just simply focus on the mudra, that is when you will understand what is happening when you perform the mudra. And the sense of awareness has to be very, very deep, or the concentration has to be very, very sharp in order to even see the impact of a particular mudra, right? So these that is why I told you these are very advanced level practices. If you teach somebody mudras, then you have to be very careful, because the change will take place on a very subtle level, right? And you will not recognize, right, what change has taken place if not done correctly. Like if you don't breathe correctly, you immediately get to know. If you don't do the posture correctly, immediately you get some injury or there is a stretch in muscles, right? So you see immediate impact. But when it comes to pranayam and mudras, these are very, very subtle practices, right? Even for pranayam, I'm saying it's very, very subtle, right? If you do it incorrectly, right, then you will not understand what caused the imbalance, but it acts on a very subtle level, right? So you'll have to take years and years of your own practice in order to be ready to teach the mudras, right? But we are learning from an academic point of view, so I will cover certain mudras and I will try my best to teach you, because you have very basic mudras, and whatever experience I uh, have had when I performed them, I can only guide you that much, right? So until up till that point, I will guide you, right? But mudras should be, in fact, given a lot of years even to understand or learn, right? It takes a lot of years. Okay. So mudras, why are mudras so important? They form a link between your physical body, your vital body, and your mind. Okay, so it is working, it is going deeper. So pranayam is indirectly impacting, but now mudras are directly impacting the mind also, right? So your physical body, physical, vital, and mental body. So mudras, they go a level deep and they impact the mind also a lot. So suppose you just join this chin mudra is very famous. No, you join the index finger and the thumb, and you keep the remaining three fingers straight, right? And you place this on your knees, right? So this is a very common mudra. So as soon as you guys do this, and you close your eyes, you immediately feel that the mind is becoming calm, right? So you're doing something which is on a physical level, which is leading to an energy circuit being formed. So today we will discuss Chen and Gyan Mudra in detail. Okay. So this is leading to an energy channel being completed, which is changing the state of your mind. Okay. So all three levels, you are able to see this thing physically, feel it, and experience the mental impact immediately. Mudras give you the mental impact quite easily. Pranayam will still take time, will take a lot of repetitions. But mudras, if you just simply do this mudra and you just sit, right, for 5-10 minutes, you will see a lot of impact, right, from the mudras. That is why when they are given from therapeutic point of view, you will see they give the practice 10 to 15 minutes in the morning, 10 to 15 minutes in the evening, because mudras are again, they are very powerful practices, right? So let's come to the two mudras that we are going to cover today, right? Chin Mudra and Gyan Mudra, one of the most common practices, right? So the first one, we call it the Chin Mudra is also called the psychic gesture of consciousness. I'm just giving you the English names also. And Gyan Mudra is called the psychic gesture of knowledge. Okay, so first let me demonstrate both the practices to you, and then we will see the meaning also. So when you do Chin and Gyan Mudra, Chin and Gyan Mudra, so you are sitting. First thing is the posture has to be stable and comfortable. In the morning also we discussed in philosophy class what the posture, ideal posture should be, right? So even for mudras, you should be stable and comfortable, right? Then you join the tips of your thumb and your index finger together like this. Don't go for this, okay? A lot of people go for this. You have to join the tips, okay? You join the tips and you don't uh, make this difference, right? You keep this together, right? And you gently place your hand on your knee, right? Same thing, again, forming this circle, keeping these two also in contact, right? And gently you can place this on your knees, and we just close the eyes when we sit for any meditation also. We close the eyes just to observe, right? So this is one way of performing Chin Mudra, right? So the technique is to join the tips of the index finger and the thumb together, and then place the hand palms facing upwards on your knee. Okay, right? This same mudra is also done as another. There is another variation. So in that variation, you basically just fold this index finger and place it on the root of the thumb, right? Again, in that same way, keeping the fingers connected, you place them on. So this is another variation of Chin Mudra. The main characteristic feature of Chin Mudra is that the palm is facing upwards. Right? So whichever one suits you more, you can go ahead and do that. Right? Now let me demonstrate the Gyan Mudra. Okay, so Gyan Mudra is done in the same way, but the palms are now facing downwards. Okay, so either you connect the index and the thumb right together, and then place your palms down like this. Your hands go like, or you can go for the variation also, where the index finger is actually placed at at the root of the thumb, right? And then you make sure that the palms are facing downwards, right? So Gyan Mudra, the main characteristic is that the palm is facing downwards. Okay. So now let me come to what is happening, okay, when you do this. All right. So let's come to the name first, Chin Mudra. Chin, this term has the root word chit. Okay. Chin Mudra, the root word is Chit, Chitta, or in some places you will also find the same term written as Chit, Chit, which means consciousness. That is why Chin Mudra is called the psychic gesture of consciousness. And Gyan, this term we have already discussed even in philosophy classes. This is your wisdom, right? And if the term knowledge is used, it's again used in the form of wisdom only, right? Where it's your direct experience which is guiding you. Knowledge, not the theoretical kind of knowledge, the experiential. So wisdom is a better term for it. But in most places, you will find the translation to be psychic gesture of knowledge, right? Now, what is happening when we are doing this mudra, right? So I told you guys that all your 5 fingers, they represent one element. The fire element is, the thumb represents the fire element. This represents the air element. Your middle finger, it represents space. The ring finger represents earth and little finger represents water. Okay, I'll repeat this one more time. So thumb represents fire, index finger is air, your middle finger is space, the ring finger is earth, and little finger is water. Okay, so all the 5 elements are represented by your fingers. So in general, whenever you are doing hand mudras, now you guys can easily understand what you are joining, right? Depending on the element, right? So different, you don't have all the mudras in your course, but if you come across any other kind of gesture which is done with the hands, you will immediately gain an understanding which elements are being worked upon when you perform the mudra. So when you do the chin mudra, you are actually joining the air and the fire element, right? And in this second variation, you are actually suppressing the air. When you place this down, right? And you allow the fire element to dominate, right? So you are suppressing the air element in the body, right? When you do this mudra. That is why this variation is also called Vayu Mudra. So guys, don't get confused when it comes to mudra. Same mudra will have multiple names, right? So this mudra is also called Vayu Mudra. You will see this thing. It's very good for Vata related disorders, right? Because you are suppressing the air element, right? Okay. So now let's come to another interpretation of these mudras, right? So another interpretation for both Gyan and Chin Mudra. is that the three fingers, 1, 2, 3, these represents the three qualities of nature. You guys read about Rajas, Sattva and Tamas, right? These are three qualities of nature. We are not free from them. Everything has these three qualities, right? We are all influenced by these three qualities of nature. One is the harmonious quality, which is luminous. One is the activeness, and the last one is the um, like the gravity, the heaviness, right? So all these three qualities we experience, right? So when you do the chin and the Gyan Mudra, you are actually, when you join these two, index and the thumb together, index finger and the thumb together. So index finger is representing your individual consciousness, all right? And the thumb represents the universal consciousness, right? So you are forming a union between the individual self and the universal energy, right? And this union can only take place when you are free from the influence of the three qualities of nature. Okay. So this mudra overall represents the union, which is a product of being free from the influence of the three qualities of nature. Right. So when this union takes place, right, this union is actually represented by this mudra. That is why in most places these two mudras are used as meditation mudras, right? Because you are practicing meditation for this final goal, right? When you uh, place this down on the base of the thumb, that means you are bowing down. We are bowing down to the universal energy, right? This is a sense, this also induces a sense of surrender, right? Okay. So when we do the Gyan Mudra, same thing we are doing, that the palms are facing downwards. All right. So one circuit that you are completing is, there are a lot of energy points over here from which the energy is escaping. So you are joining these two. All right. So this circuit is automatically being completed when you do this mudra, right? Whenever guys you perform mudras, you are actually pressing some point in your body, right? So when you do the mudra, no, don't leave your hand just like this. Okay, don't leave your hand lax. There should be a sense of I'm not saying apply too much pressure, but enough pressure for you to keep awareness on this point, and you are pressing these 2 points. Okay, so whenever you do mudras, our entire body is full of different points, right? You would have heard of acupressure, no? Acupressure therapy, right? So when you do mudras, you are actually pressing some points, right? Where the energy, where, especially with hands, so don't leave them very loose, maintain that sense of awareness. At least that much pressure should be there, and some point is constantly being pressed when you do the mudra, right? So this goes for any mudra, right? Now there is one more circuit that you are completing when you do chin and Gyan Mudra. So again, place this back. So when you place your hands on your knee, okay, you are making a lock over here also. Okay, so you are directing this energy to flow up, right, to your perineum region, basically where one of your major energy centers is, right, to the pelvic floor, right? So when you place your hands like this, so do place them properly on your knees. Don't let them fall out, right? When you do this, again, you are completing an energy channel, right? Which is directing the energy to your pelvic floor. Okay. All right. So these are a few points that you take care of when you do chin and Gyan Mudra. Now, chin Mudra is very good for the receiving of knowledge, right? So you will see, whenever you keep your palms facing upwards, you are open to receiving, right? So chin Mudra is very good to do during meditation in general, right? And towards all other um, when you are performing all other things where you are open to receiving, right? Because when the palms are facing upwards, overall there is a sense of lightness and openness to receiving. In body language also, if you will see, right, if your palms are downwards or you are covering your palms in some way, so you are basically being either defensive or not too open, right? So when your palms are up, you are more open, right, to gain and receive, right? And Gyan Mudra is very good to do when you are teaching, right? So when you become teachers, it's a very good mudra to do when you have to give, right? Give out the information. You can perform Gyan Mudra. Over here, the palms face downwards, so we are not open to the receiving, but we are open to giving. So guys, don't give up on mudras just like that. You'll have to practice them for a long period of time to see the benefits, and you will have to practice them for 10 to 15 minutes straight. Like, if you are sitting in chin mudra, sit for 10 to 15 minutes. That is when you will begin to see the impact and the benefits, and do it on a consistent basis, right? It's not as easy as asanas where you just do the stretching or the movement of the body and you see the impact, everyday progress. You won't be able to keep track of it that easily, right? So you'll have to do it again and again for a long period of time. In fact, if you just do this, like, of course you feel an immediate effect, but the depth of the effect would only be felt when you sit for 10 to 15 minutes. So like when you sit for your meditation classes, no, that is when you actually feel, okay, there is chin mudra, no, you are performing that. But in meditation, your focus is on the object, right? Now, when you do mudras as a separate practice, then your focus is on the mudra, right? So the actual impact you will only be able to see when you solely do the practice of mudras. All right. So this is all the detailed understanding of these two mudras, which you have been doing for quite some time. So tomorrow we are going to discuss the types of mudras, and we are going to cover more mudras that are there in your course. Right? There are a lot of benefits of Chin and Gyan Mudra, right? Very subtle, on a very subtle level, it prepares your mind for meditation, and it induces a very calm and relaxed state, right? So if somebody is not able to do any other aspect, you can definitely recommend mudras. But again, like I said, they are advanced practices, so I want to tell you the benefits, but then don't just restrict to the mudras, to the practice of mudras, and immediately never introduce mudras to someone, right? If the body is moving too much, the mind is too unstable, people won't be able to perform mudras. So for them, asanas are better, at least their mind will get engaged, right? So Chin and Gyan Mudra overall have multiple benefits, and there are a lot of studies done on the kind of benefits and the state of mind that is induced when you perform mudras, right? And in general, Chin Mudra helps you to feel lighter also, right? So when you do Chin Mudra, immediately you feel a sense of lightness because it opens up your chest somewhere, right? Gyan Mudra feels more restrictive than Chin Mudra overall speaking, but you guys can go as per your own experience also. As you experience it, that will become the basis for you to teach it to your students, right? So let's practice for a while, right? So we are going to sit in Chin and Gyan Mudra for a while, and let's just try to observe. Right now we are aware of what we are doing exactly, so we are going to keep the mind and the intention set in that way. So sit with a straight back and neck, and very gently close your eyes. For now, just bring the mind to the breathing. Slowly begin to deepen the breathing. Take your time to attain the stability of the body and relaxation of the mind. Slowly form the chin mudra, join the index finger and the thumb together, and the remaining three fingers, they remain straight, and place your palms on your knees. The palms should face upwards, and there should be a sense of awareness when you do this mudra. And your attention should be focused on the mudra itself. Just going to allow ourselves to experience the subtle benefits of this mudra just by holding in the mudra for a few minutes. Very slowly move your hands and reverse the hands. Go into Gyan Mudra. Very slow movement. Simply observe. See how you are feeling after you have adopted the Gyan Mudra. Slowly start becoming aware of your breathing. We are going to end today's session with one Om chanting. followed by 3 Shantis. Inhale deeply for Om. Om. Shanti. 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 Simply observe the vibrations. Join both your palms together in front of your chest and bow down, feeling a sense of gratitude for everything we have. Begin to rub both your palms together. Keep your palms on your eyes. One more time. Rub the palms together. Keep the palms on the eyes. Very slowly, while blinking and looking at your palms, begin to open up your eyes. Start coming back with a smile. Namaste to everyone. Guys, any doubts from any of you? Anything you missed or no? Okay, so we only practiced for about 3 minutes each, right? So go for minimum 5 minutes if you want to understand the Chin and Gyan Mudra, right? So, okay, guys, so we'll meet tomorrow now, yeah, and next 2 days also most likely we are going to discuss more about mudras, right? So take care and enjoy your break, and I will see you tomorrow for your philosophy class. Bye bye.